that we'll see first try. That'd be amazing, though. So, well, hopefully we'll see it within 10 minutes.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Produx has a different setup for the credits warp that is a lot more consistent than the world record run. So I don't know if he's actually going to do that or what. But we might actually see it first try.
Well, I'm ready over here. How are we doing the countdown?
We're just going to type it in Skype chat. Okay. We're ready. We're going to see this credits warp run in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So I have no idea how this works. Cujo, help me out. Why is it possible to warp to the credits?
Well, it's kind of a complex thing. Basically, years and years ago, someone at some point figured out that you can basically jump into a pipe the wrong direction. In other words, if it's an upward pipe, you can jump into it such that you actually go down it. For the longest time, we never really knew any sort of use for that until about a year and a half ago. Someone figured out that if you jump into a specific pipe in World 7 Level 1, backwards like that, it'll actually take you like outside the normal bounds of the level. And normally when you do that, it just crashes the game automatically. But if you manage to either kill or disable a bunch of the enemies in the right order and in exactly the right location, the game will basically read the locations of those enemies from its RAM and execute it as instructions. This is called arbitrary code execution. You can literally get the NES to do whatever you want. So eventually someone figured out how to basically jump all the way to the very end of the game using this arbitrary code execution glitch. So anyways, right now he's just going through the first few levels of World 1 normally. And once he gets both of these whistles, he's going to first warp to World 2, and then from World 2 to World 7. That's the fastest way to get to World 7. And that's what he's doing right now. And now he's warping to World 7. So rather than trying to clip through this wall, he just entered the level. This is the only time you actually enter level 7-1 in any speedrun of this game. And notice he killed all 3 of those piranha plants. He does that so that the 3 Koopas that are left over are like arranged in a certain order within memory. And so now he has to kill these 3 Koopas in exactly the right order and at exactly the right locations. All 3 of these kills are pixel perfect. And it looks like he's got the 3rd Koopa shell in place. Or actually, that was the 2nd one. This is the 3rd one. So he jumps into this pipe so that the Koopa is at a very specific location, and then he immediately goes back down the pipe. Now he's going to try to... There he goes. He just entered the pipe the wrong way, and if all the Koopas ended up in the right locations, by the time he gets out of this pipe, he's going to warp all the way to the end of the game. It didn't work.
Oh man, the tension.
Yeah, occasionally, no matter what you do, even if you kill all the Koopas in exactly the right location, sometimes it just doesn't work. No one's really sure why that happens. It just sort of happens.
Does he have any kind of visual cues as to when he has them in the right position, or is he just looking at pixels, basically?
He's basically looking at individual pixels. The first Koopa is the easiest one. You basically just go right up against an item block and kill the Koopa there. It just happens to be exactly the right location. The second one is not too hard to line up. He basically has to be right on the very edge of one of the pipes. And then the third one, there's a few different ways to line up the third Koopa. What he did on his first attempt is the easier way. Basically, you grab the Koopa shell, go up one of the pipes as soon as the Koopa starts to break out of its shell. And once you come out the top of the pipe, you wait for the Koopa to come out of its shell and basically hurt you. And as it's hurting you, you hold down so that you go back down the pipe immediately. And that just happens to line up the Koopa in exactly the right location. And there's a couple other setups for that last Koopa that are not nearly as consistent, but are faster. So now he's warping to World 7 again. And that first Koopa, you only have to kick it to the very bottom of the level. You don't have to place it in a specific location. As long as it's at the very bottom, it'll despawn. And that's all you really need. And this one, again, you just have to kill it. You don't have to place it anywhere. That's the one that he just killed. He killed it against the item box. That's the proper location for him. This one has to be right up against the edge of this pipe. So I can use 1 pixel off there. That looks good. And this is the one he grabs and takes with him back up one of these pipes as soon as it starts to break out of its shell. He immediately goes back down the pipe. And now he just has to do the pipe glitch, and hopefully it'll work this time.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, this is always the worst part of every credits warp run, is just waiting to come out the pipe and see if you did it correctly or not. I just learned how to do this a few days ago, actually. Oh no, it didn't work.
We got time for another try.
Yeah, the fact that all these Koopa shells have to be in exactly the right location, like pixel perfect, is it kind of makes this trick really difficult. There are techniques to line up all the Koopa shells, but when it comes down to it, they're all still pixel perfect, and it's really difficult to perform this glitch.
So apparently he got the values right, but sometimes it can crash, even when you do it right.
Yeah, that's another really frustrating thing about this glitch, is that sometimes it just doesn't work. So he's going to make one more attempt at this. Third tries the charm, right? My video just... Oh, there it is. Another thing about this category is that the 7-1 glitch is not the only thing you have to execute. There's also these 4 levels in World 1 that are not trivial. Especially 1-3 can be really difficult sometimes. There's a few really precise jumps in 1-3. And then, of course, there's the leaf grab in this fort. Got the waffle jump, nice. And the leaf grab.
I guess when you run this category, you get pretty good at those first few stages in World 1.
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, you're still going to mess them up every once in a while, but you can definitely improve your consistency over time. One thing about those levels in World 1 is that you don't just play them in this category, you play them pretty much every category. Other than 1-3, you don't play in Warpless. So even when you're not playing this category, you still get plenty of practice in World 1 all the time. First try pipe glitch again. Now, this guy's run this category so many times, I imagine the pipe glitch is pretty easy for him to do. Usually takes me like 10 tries. And he got it.
There it is. Third tries the charm.
So that's how you beat Super Mario 3 in under 4 minutes.
Nice job. That was Produx at the controls. And Cujo joining us for commentary after his Mario 3 run.
Good job, Produx.
And thanks to both of you for capping off our Mario block here. Awesome stuff.
My pleasure.
Next up, we have Little Nemo. This is a really cool game with the torturing of animals and the wearing of their skin. It's played for cuteness and laughs, but we can't deny that's what's really going on here.
Fun for the whole family.
And we're going to have Havoc Prodigy do some back-to-back runs here. First,